Music is a bridge between the material and the spiritual. My name is Harvey Lauer, and I'm 82. As a blind person, you have to be aware that nobody can tell you what you can or can't do. You really have to try things. My folks got me a little radio in 1940, and that was the best Christmas present I ever got. When I was 11 years old is when I started to play music, play the piano, and then the accordion, and then the cello. My wife, who was also blind, was a good cook. When she died, that's when I started Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bozzy. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello.
Hey, I'm Dua Lipa.
Hey, guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Sal.
Hey, everyone.
This is Selena.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R.
What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to DaBooth312 on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago.
And this is Fresh.
Hello, I'm Ann Geddes. Every 2 seconds, somewhere in the world, a baby is born too soon. Did you know that premature birth is the leading cause of newborn deaths, not just in the US, but around the world? With each week these precious babies stay and thrive in the womb, the risk of disabilities is significantly reduced. It's not too late to make a difference. Premature birth can be prevented, and new lives can be saved. The March of Dimes has created a network of prematurity research centres developing new treatments that will assist in making a difference. The March of Dimes continues to work with parents, the medical community and governments to bring improved prenatal care to mothers and their babies. Give every newborn the chance to be born healthy. Join with me and the March of Dimes. Take the first step. Visit marchofdimes.org.
Reaching the World Entertainment presents The Booth. Check us out every Sunday on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Download that free app, tune in, and get the best sounds of the underground with The Booth. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode right here, The Booth 312, broadcasting now WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago and theboothradio.com. Hopefully you guys are enjoying today, and if you guys are in Chicago right now, get ready for the snow, because we got it coming. So you guys better stay warm, cuddle up. If you don't have someone, go find someone, and, well, I'm not going to tell you what we'll have next. Anyways, we got a great show for you guys today. Hope you guys are going to enjoy it. We have Wesley the Wiz in the studio. If you guys are old schoolers, been around long enough, you know who Wesley the Wiz is. And if you guys are the millennial group, well, you're going to learn. And don't worry about it. You won't forget. He won't let you. Wesley the Wiz is actually a great DJ, producer, has been around for enough years doing this game. So he knows how to keep you moving and keep you shaking. So you guys are going to learn how to do that here. Real quick, we'll get to Wesley a little bit later, but I want to say, Wesley, thank you so much for coming in today, man. I really appreciate it.
I'm happy to be here, actually. Never been here before, but I've heard the station, but I've never actually been in the building before.
All right. Well, you are in the building now, and you'll always be welcome back. So we really appreciate you coming. And I'm happy that the snow hasn't come yet, so you guys are able to get in. Didn't want to have that call say, oh, I'm sorry, we're snowed in. We can't get over here, but we're great to have you here. So we really appreciate that.
Snow doesn't stop the waves.
I hear you. All right, guys. So if you guys don't know, we have Veterans Day coming up tomorrow. And today we want to say happy birthday to the Marines out there. Our local Marine is not in the studio today. I think he worked a little too hard on his KP assignments, but
Work?
It's all right.
Work in air quotes?
Exactly right. So, unfortunately, Ron Tinsley is not in the studio today, but hopefully he'll be back next week. And as you guys probably see as well, if you're looking at us on TV, you don't see the Smoking Man, Smoking Preacher, Derek Smoking Jones in the studio. He's with family right now, so our prayers extend out to him and his family. Hopefully everything goes well with him and his family. All right. Yeah, I know I'm rambling, I'm going on, but it's okay because we're so short time. We're trying to get everything out for you guys. What is going on with Popeyes, everyone? I don't know what's going on with Popeyes, but it seems like everyone's fighting over this chicken, and most of the people are saying the chicken really isn't that great, so I don't even know. I haven't had one yet myself, so I couldn't tell you if that chicken sandwich is all that great, but this is getting ridiculous. People are getting shot over it, getting into fights over it. What is going on with Popeyes chicken? I don't know. I mean, We don't see that at churches. We don't see that at KFC. What's going on with Popeye's chicken? Do you think they're setting it up and doing it purposely just to get the rhetoric, to get people talking about Popeyes?
It's working.
I mean, yeah, exactly, right? We have politicians doing this stuff. We have other people doing this stuff. You have people kissing other people, making it look like it's a family affair going on over at ball games. But we know that's set up. I'm sorry, it's poor acting. But this here, I don't think this is acting. I think this is just real stuff.
The first batch had $20 bills in them. That's what happened.
Is that what it is?
I think they're laced with crack. Because I had 2 of them. They're good.
Well, I didn't know there was the golden ticket and we had the golden wings. I mean, you've heard of, I don't know if you guys heard about those golden dipped wings that they had before, but I don't know. Maybe they're doing the same thing with these, sandwiches.
No matter what, every time that we go to get a chicken sandwich from there, they never have it. Never. Never have it.
So we can't win, but obviously people are fighting over it when they do have it. What is going on? This is ridiculous. I don't know.
It's laced with crack.
Crack kills. Crack kills.
Coke is good, crack is kill. Yeah, okay. Crack is better, right? Yeah, we're not endorsing Coke or crack in either way.
Say no to drugs.
Exactly, kids. Well, hopefully you guys are definitely enjoying yourselves. Like I said, we do have a storm coming up in Chicago and Chicagoland area.
Can't wait.
You can't.
I
wait.
can.
Everyone else can. Well, Dave's gonna make the extra money off of that, but it's all right.
All right, I got 4-wheel drive on my truck. I'm cool.
You got 4-wheel, I got all wheels, so hey, yeah, we're good. If you don't have it, you guys better get it. We're gonna see. I know I've seen this enough in the Chicagoland area. Look, you guys that live in an area that has bad weather, snow, and everything. You need to have a secondary car other than your Vet or your Mustangs. It doesn't work out there, okay? I'm just telling you, you guys are going to get yourselves killed. Get yourselves a backup vehicle. You want that as a summer vehicle? Hey, great. Enjoy it right around. But, I don't know, man. These people out there have these extraordinary vehicles, and it's like, really? They're not meant for this kind of weather. Think about it. I don't know.
They can go faster than us, but they can't stop any faster than us.
Not in the winter, they can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that why you brought the Jeep instead of the SS, Dave?
I actually used to have a Camaro SS. Funny you should say that. And I tried driving it in the winter. I put snow tires on there. So as long as it wasn't over 2 inches of snow, I was okay. But after that, you can forget about it. You can forget about it. It was too low, the clearance.
So you wasted your money on snow tires?
Yes,
huh?
I traded in for the Jeep, the biggest one I could find.
I don't know. There you go, guys. I'm trying to think what else is going on. It's been a crazy week for me, working on a lot of things. Hopefully we'll get the TV network up and running for you guys soon. So if you guys have not heard it, then I don't know where you've been. But RTW TV will be coming on soon. We're working with Apple TV, Amazon Prime, Amazon TV, Roku, and Fire Stick. So hopefully we'll be have the network up. And you guys can go back and check out all these great mixes, all these great shows, including all the upcoming shows and everything else going on in entertainment. It's going to be a blast. You guys are definitely going to have it. We're going to surpass MTV. Yes, I called you guys out. So we will do it, and we're going to keep it going and keep it moving for you guys. Dave, what else? What do you got going on, man?
No, I'm
not much. Okay, cool.
I'm recuperating. I'm recuperating.
That's going to be a long one.
I had an event in Indiana, Jalapenos, with Mickey Oliver, Kenny Jason.
So you put the corn and the jalapeno together, huh?
Yes. It was a great event. A lot of people came out in the Indiana area, and we jammed. We jammed till 3 a.m. So
now, were these people from Indiana, or are these people traveling from like Chicago and other parts to go to Indiana for this event?
You know what? I think it was a mix of both. I think it was some Southsiders, a lot of Indiana people, and they really, really felt the vibe. It was a great night, and we're going to do it again out there.
All right, that's great. Yeah, I feel real bad that I wasn't able to make it. I'm sorry. I really tried to be there and support my guys and, show the love. And especially Dave C. And not anything against anyone else, but Dave C. is one of the biggest supporters. I know he will always do everything and anything he can to be there for everybody and support everyone. And much love. Even though I wasn't able to be there to support, I was supporting you through social media and trying to get everything out there.
In spirit, you were there.
Trying to do the best I can, man. But, yeah, definitely nothing but good things I heard, and can't wait to be at the next one. So, we'll definitely be there. What else you got coming up? Anything?
I'm trying to think. We have the White Elephant Vinyl Exchange.
That's right.
Which we're a part of. We're part of Part 1 and Part 2, which will be, Southside will be digital, CDJs. That will be December 13th. And December 6th, we'll be at Sugar Skull for an all-vinyl set. 25 DJs, 15 minutes each, I believe it is. And it's show your skills. So it should be a fantastic time.
Scratch and sniff. That's right.
Long enough for me.
Wesley will be there. Wesley will be throwing down.
Yeah, what do you put down? 2 records?
For me, 15 minutes is pretty long. I can go through almost a whole crate.
And that's the thing. When you look at soulful, deep house DJs, 15 minutes, you're talking maybe 4 records. But guys like us from the old school, battle DJs and everything, we try to see if we can squeeze 12, 13 records in that 15 minutes.
Well, especially if you have 2 records of the same thing, you get in and out real fast.
Exactly.
That's what we do.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, Wesley, what do you know about that in and out real fast stuff, huh?
I can tell you some stories. We'll be here for a long time.
Okay, FCC, I know you're watching. All right. You're watching and listening, I know. All right, well, we'll get into his little secret stories about it being in and out a little bit later. So you guys want to make sure you stick around for that one. All right, guys, stick around right here for more to come on DaBooth312, broadcasting from WIT 88.9 FM in Chicago and DaBoothRadio.com.
Tonight's the night we're gonna make it happen. Tonight we'll put all other things aside. Get in this time and show me some affection. We're going for those pleasures in the night. I want to love you, I feel you, I wrap myself around you. I want to squeeze you, release you. I just can't get enough. And if you move real slow, I let it go. And I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control and I think I like it. I'm so excited and I just can't hide it. I know I want you. I'm about to lose control, 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 I'm about to lose control. tomorrow. Sweet memories will last a long, long time. But we have a good time, baby, don't you worry. And if we're still playing around, boy, that's just fine. Let's get it started, and we just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. No, no, no. I know, I want you, I want you. Oh boy, I want to love you, feel you. I wrap myself around you. I want to squeeze you, please you. I just can't get enough. And if you move real slow, I let it go. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. I know, I want you. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. We shouldn't even think about sweet memories will last a long, We'll have a good time, baby, don't we? We'll have a good time, baby, don't. And if we're still playing around, boy, let's get excited, and we just get out it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. No, no, I want you, I want you. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Living lonely in an empty cave, my hideaway. Shadow follow me, can't get past the pain. I need your escape. 'Cause you are the light in my darkness. You put the stars in my starless sky. I need your light. And you are the hope when I'm reckless. The reason I live 'cause you're next to me. I need your light, your light. I never want to imagine life without you is tragic.
Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bozzy. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello. Hey, I'm Dua Lipa. Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Loud.
Hey everyone.
This is Salade.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R.
What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago.
And this is fresh.
Hey guys, we're back right here. The Booth 312, broadcasting on WIT 88.9 FM in Chicago and theboothradio.com. Right now in the studio, we're going to talk to and get to know real passionately Wesley the Wiz.
Passionately.
We're going to he's stroking our mic already. Look at that. Anyways.
I want to get a little closer.
There he is. See, look at that. See, just the fingertips. See how he is? Anyways, so Wes, thanks again, man. I really appreciate you coming in the studio, man.
I'm happy to be here.
Fan. I loved your style for over years. I love what you do. Even back when you were on the station yourself, doing your thing. So you definitely are inspiring what you do. So
thanks.
much love to you,
I appreciate that a lot.
No, seriously. And I wouldn't say if I didn't mean it. Otherwise, I'd just stay quiet and wouldn't say anything. There you go, say it. I guess I'm an advocate of you can't say anything nice. Don't say anything at all. So if I'm quiet on you, hey, take a guess.
Oh, wow.
You've been quiet on a few occasions.
Gee, thanks.
My point exactly. Anyways, Wesley, you know, a lot of the old schoolers, and I hate this term because it's like we're getting old, but a lot of the old schoolers, they know a little bit about you, but if they don't, they're going to get to know a little bit more about you. And for those that are millennials and the younger age that still love the old school sound, that don't know about you, really, I want them to get to know you. So how long have you been in this game of playing music and DJing?
I started doing this when I was 12. Actually, I didn't have any equipment. I used to just put a turntable, hook it up to a tape deck, and play tape and mix it in with the turntable. I mean, they didn't have real good equipment. But on my 12th birthday is when my parents surprised me with 2 turntables and a mixer and a case, and you know,
wow.
and
all out, man.
I mean, it's from there. It's and I used those for maybe, I say about 5 years. I used them. They weren't the best. They were Techniques turntables with the little pitch control in the front, and the little was a little ball pitch control. That's the 202s. Right? Yeah, belt driven.
Yeah, what kind of mixer?
I had it was a realistic
Radio Shack special.
Yeah, the Radio Shack, the one with the 2 channels.
I think we all had that when we started.
I had one of those, and I was happy with that. It's like a DJ. You know, pitch control wasn't really that important to me because I could still mix songs, and they had the same BPMs and stuff. You can use your fingers, and you hold the needle down a little bit. And you hold to stop it from going fast and stuff like that. So, and that's how I learned. My father. He was into music most of his life, so kind of got down on me, and then and now my son's doing it too. He's 20. He just turned 23 the other day, and he's
happy belated birthday to you.
Yeah, he's DJing a lot of different, but he's more of a downtown DJ. He DJs for the the newer music and stuff like that. Like for some reason, I can't get into the new music, whatever. I can't get into that stuff. I just Cardi B and all that.
Raps and all that.
Yeah, I can't get into it. But even though I do have to play it, I can't get into it. It's not music to me.
I hear you.
And there's a reason why the young guys right now, all the young kids out there, like maybe I say, from like maybe 18 and up, are getting into the old school stuff because it's real music. It's real music, and it's easy to dance to. You can follow it. It's got good bass lines, good beats, stuff like that. So they're following along with that, and they're saying, okay, well, you know what? Is either listen to this and dance to this, or listen to Meek Mill. Cardi B, stuff like that. I'm not bashing that music, but it's to me, old school music is a little more musical. You know what I mean? That's when music was music.
And even though some of it was still commercial, it was nothing like what today is super commercial. I mean, this stuff is so sold for everyone just to love. It's to make you love it, and there's nothing there really to love. But people don't understand it. They just follow it, and
I think that's why the younger people are getting into the music now, especially the old school house music.
Yeah.
That's why they're doing it, because it's like, what else is there to listen to?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, let's go back and listen to the old stuff. Oh, you know what? I didn't even know it sounded like that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, this is good stuff. I'm going to bang it in my Jeep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then they start to learn. Yeah, right? And then they start to learn that actually a lot of that old school is actually being reused. And it's like, oh, is that where they came from? My daughter was one of those that heard when they started implementing like house music into some of the backbeats of these hip hop tracks. And it's like, you love that, but then wait a minute, you didn't like it for all these years. I've been playing it when you're growing up, but now you love it. And it's like, here's the originals. Oh.
Well, it's weird that you say that, because I just got asked not too long ago when I was over at a club that I DJ at, and this girl comes up to me. She's like, "Why are you playing that song so fast?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" It was "Mystery of Love."
Okay.
She's like, "Why are you playing that song so fast?" I'm like, "No, I'm not playing it fast. That's a normal speed." She's like, "No, isn't that the Kanye West Fade?" And I'm looking around like, they really don't know.
Yeah,
they really don't know that he took that song from an old house song. They don't know. And I had to explain to her, well, you know what? That's an old track that Kanye took. He slowed it down and he put a rap over it. It's an old house song. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's why it sounds faster.
Yep.
Believe me, a lot of stuff's being sampled, like the old Kraftwerk stuff. Is like Missy, when she did a couple of tracks, and then Dr. Dre stole a lot of stuff from Kraftwerk.
Yeah.
A lot of the old school stuff that a lot of the kids now, I like that song, but they don't know where it came from.
But and actually, just to be fair, a lot of people don't realize that even a lot of old school house music, if you look at the Soulful and some of the other house tracks, they were taken from older tracks as well.
Yes.
So it is an ongoing process. So it's not like it's just something new. Just to be fair, it's not a new thing.
It's a build, and that's what it is.
Is.
I think it's just a build, and what it is that you're going to have your influences too. Okay,
Yeah.
I think that a lot of the old first generation house music was based on Italo disco stuff.
Oh, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And those guys had it going on back then, and then they grabbed it, and the house music producers grabbed it, and they put their own style onto it.
Yeah.
And then it became house music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that house music was taken from a certain kind of genre. It was built off of like disco. Like disco. It's the next generation of disco to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree with you. And then we have new disco today. So, yeah, exactly. So you started spinning and learning how to play at around 12. Did you have influences back then? Did you have anyone actually show you, teach you how to do this? Or did you have to teach yourself?
Okay. One time we were at a party. I remember I was about 10 years old. And they had a DJ. And he's not one of those mixing DJs. He just played records, disc jockey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he wasn't playing any good music. He was playing. Nobody was really getting into the sound at all.
Okay.
And so my dad actually went home and grabbed his vinyl and went over there, and he actually played what people wanted to hear. My dad had a little bit of disco in there, Evelyn Champagne King and the Beatles, a little bit of the Rolling Stones. The Miss You, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He played all that stuff. He got the people going. So I watched how he did it. And then one time on a Saturday night, they were playing cards at the house, and they were listening to BMX. And BMX was playing a lot of the, commercial, electronic, like the Human League and stuff like that in the mixes. And I never heard that before. I never heard a 12-inch version of the Human League. Don't You Want Me? I never heard it. So I'm listening to it. I'm like, how are they doing that? And then my dad would explain, that's a 12-inch version. They changed it around a little bit. And they have the turntables, and the turntables have these little speed controls, and they can adjust the speed and then mix it into. And that kind of blew my mind. Then the Battle of the Breakers came up in Cicero. And these guys had 1200s, and they had, everything. I'm like looking at them like, wow, those turntables are cool. Never seen them before. Never knew what they were. I had my techniques, with the little pitch control in the front. And then I started asking around at what they were using. And, those are Techniques 1200s, but they don't have them here in the States. I'm like, wow. So I had to save up to get them. Cost $900, right?
Yeah.
And when I finally got them, they had no needles. I opened up the boxes, no needles, no slip mats. So I had to save up another month just to buy the needles I wanted. And they were the Shure needles. But you know how sensitive those needles were back in the day, the SC35s? If you made a mistake and you slid that needle off the record just by accident, you already bent the needle.
Yep.
I learned the hard way.
Yeah.
But you know what? Now I'm pretty good, but not shoving the needle off the record now. But these new school guys, like my son, he can go through needles. I'll tell you that.
Got to have a soft touch.
Well, he learned to DJ on 1200s, so he's and then now he can pretty much DJ on anything. Once you learn on a 1200 how to DJ on a 1200, you can mix on anything.
Yeah, I agree.
Say that
I
again.
agree with you.
Okay, I'm going to say it one more time.
Say that again.
Once you learn to DJ on a Techniques 1200, which is a record player, and for all the...
But what if I like the Denons?
The Techniques 1200 is a record player. And for all you guys out there that don't know what a record is, it's a big CD, all right? It's a big CD. Once you learn how to mix on that, you can DJ on anything.
some of them are too young to even know what a CD is nowadays.
Really? Really?
Even know what
I do
CDs
believe
anymore.
that. You know,
They're
what
so
is that?
digital, the digital age. So
You guys know what a record is? Oh, you mean on Facebook? No, on a record.
you mean that thing when the police give you? No, not that kind of record. What were some of your influences growing up that you had? Obviously, you said your dad because you watched your dad. But what other influences did you have?
The Hot Mix 5 were my biggest influences. They were my biggest. Kenny Jason. It was back in the day. It was Kenny Jason, Mickey Oliver, Scott Sills, and Farley, and Ralphie. Biggest influences. I listened to them all the time, and that's how I got most of my ideas of listening to them. But if you listen to the way that they DJ a lot, they are different from each other big time. If you listen to Mickey, Ralphie, all of them, they don't mix the same. So you really have to go and listen to all of them to really kind of grab, a way of listening to or DJing actually mixing in beats over beats or bass line over beats or they all DJ different.
Yeah, they had their styles. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's what set them apart from everyone else.
And then the music, Kraftwerk is my biggest influence because they were the ones who developed our music now. I don't think if it wasn't for them, I don't think the music would be like it is now. They kind of like changed the game when it came to electronic music, and they put it in a different direction. And Giorgio Moroder, he's another one of my biggest influences. Alexander Robotnik. If I had to choose between all of them, I probably wouldn't be able to make up my mind. I think Kraftwerk would probably be my biggest influence. Besides, the Hot Mix 5 and, other DJs. I don't know if you guys remember a DJ back in the day, Tantalizing T. Chablis. Remember him?
Name kind of rings a bell, but
he's a DJ on a station that wasn't easy to pick up. And I remember I kind of went through the station and caught it by accident. And that's how I found out about him. And he was a great DJ. I can't remember the name of the station or what numbers it was.
Yeah.
But I remember just going through it during the day, like in the morning, and catching it, grabbing it after listening to the Hot Mix 5 all night on a Saturday. I caught him on a Sunday.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And the mixes were great. This guy was really good. He played a lot of like African Bambaataa and, Egyptian Lover.
Okay.
And stuff like that. Electro, beat stuff. He played a lot of that, and he was real big influence on me too.
So, you're going through the times of DJing and you're perfecting your craft. When did you actually want to start getting into producing and making your own tracks?
Actually, I've done it. I've been doing it since I was a kid, but I would always try to, find different kinds of ways of doing it. What I had was one of those little Casio keyboards, the one with the little sampler on it. Right?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
about. And while all these other kids were taking this, what we're using, they were taking it and they were just sampling their voices and doing all kinds of, voice samples with it. They weren't actually using it for what I thought it should be used for. It did have an input on it for, plugging it into a mixer or something. So the first thing I did was plug it into my mixer and start sampling, songs and parts of music. You know what I mean? It was only one sample, and it was only 3 seconds long, but I was able to do a lot with that 3 seconds. And I was able to actually play the songs, like a medley or a melody, or just play the sample along with my mixes or whatever I was doing. As time progressed, I started getting into, more equipment. I started buying keyboards when I got older, and my first real sampler was my MPC. I had an MPC 60, and that's when my production started taking off with that.
Nice.
I was doing samples at first and just sampling music. I wasn't playing any music or melodies or anything like that until Tyree Cooper showed me how to do samples. Mix my samples with MIDI and actually start playing bass lines and strings from keyboards and using the MPC to do it. And it's real easy to do it. And he's like, all you gotta do is just do this and change the MIDI to your samples to leave those on MIDI 1 and put your bass line on 2 and your strings on 3. He explained it to me really easy, and that's how I got to start doing it like that. So not only did I learn, I passed it on to other people. Like I don't know if you guys know who John Collins is. He is a producer from MCM13.
No.
A lot of hard house stuff.
Josh Collins.
Josh Collins.
Josh Collins.
No, not Josh Collins.
Oh, okay.
John Collins. Josh Collins was on our same label.
Okay.
Bobby D's label.
Yeah.
And John was MCM13. He did a lot of the Train song, and
really?
he did Big Fat Juicy Booty, that kind of stuff. If you listen to Big Fat Juicy Booty, that's his voice on it. That's John.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, so I pass the knowledge on to them, and then they start doing it. And before you know, a lot of people are doing, producing music and playing keyboards with the MPC.
Okay.
So Tyree taught me a lot. Fast Eddie taught me a lot. I used to work at DJ International for a while. I met a lot of guys through them. I met I hung out with Houseman. I don't know if you guys know Ricky, him, and then of course Fast Eddie and Tyree. And Tyree, what he did was he walked into the studio and he saw me kind of struggling about what I wanted to do. I wasn't mixing in the tracks with the keyboard. I would play them on beat with each other, like use the sequencer off of the keyboard to play the MPC and play them together. They weren't exactly synced together. That's what he saw me struggling with. He's like, no, you don't have to do it like that. Here, I'll show you how to do it real fast, and then you'll learn, So, and Tyree was a nice guy, too. He wasn't afraid to throw his knowledge around. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I heard a lot. I never got a chance to actually meet Tyree.
He's a real nice guy, and he's not afraid. He's not afraid to pass on his knowledge of what he learned to you. You know what I mean? So he started off just like the rest of us, not really knowing how to do stuff. And then, when he got into
was
the
all
studio,
self-taught. I didn't have anyone show me and guide me through it. And so yeah, I definitely get it. I know what you're saying.
yeah, you know what it is. It's good that you have people like that around because I probably would have never. Eventually I probably would have got it, but he did show me a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when it came to stereo equipment and knowing stuff like that, my father, he was into that stuff. So I learned how to hook up equipment from him.
Okay.
And of course, when I was younger, I was taking stuff apart and seeing how it worked.
Most of us did that, yeah.
Just to see how it worked, you know what I mean?
Yep,
But you couldn't put it back
exactly,
together. But I wanted to see how it worked.
Yeah.
And then after about 5 years from using my Technics turntables, I finally bought my 1200s. Finally got them working. I was using the same mixer at the time. But to tell you the truth, it wasn't a bad journey. I had a really good childhood. My parents, they supported me a lot in what I wanted to do. If I needed something, I can get it from them. Oh, you need new headphones. How we broke a needle. My dad he would go over to a place where he bought his needle for his turntables, and he'll buy me one or buy me whatever I needed, stuff like that. So I had real good support.
Well, it's nice to have the support.
Exactly.
That's a great thing.
Exactly. And then when I wanted to buy music equipment like keyboards or modules or something to make my stuff come out better, they were always offering. Do you want you to buy anything for your studio? Always offering.
So let's move ahead now to today. And what are you doing today?
As far as production or as far as DJ?
Well, both actually. I'd like to know a little bit of both.
Actually, my production slowed down a lot. I'm more of a hands-on kind of guy, non-digital.
You like that mic? Yeah, he's hands-on.
There he goes.
I'm more of NBC right here, keyboard right here.
Okay.
I'm kind of that kind of guy. Computers, it's easy to do it on a computer. A lot easier because all your stuff's right there in front of you, and you can actually go to Ableton Live and just put all your stuff in there and start making tracks and stuff like that. It's easy. It's easy to do, but you're not learning that much from doing that because it pretty much does the production a lot for you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So a lot of these guys who are saying, "Oh, I'm producing on Ableton," I want to see you actually playing the keyboard by hand, recording it onto Ableton.
More analytical than
quantized stuff like that, and then you could probably say you're a producer, okay? But if you're just taking a track from from Afrojack, if you're taking the first 3 beats or 4 beats off of his record, and you're putting it into yours and you're looping it, that's not really doing production. You're just taking someone else's stuff and kind of making it your own, and see who's going to be able to notice it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Are you talking about
today,
me?
They're noticing a lot.
No, Dave, we're not talking about you.
So today, they're actually they're catching a lot of people doing that today. So, and the legal teams are really on that today more than ever. So,
and don't forget that there's a lot of programs out there right now that have free royalty-free samples that you can use. So you're taking loops from the stuff that they already have and stuff that's already been produced, and you're taking it and you're putting it into your loops. On Ableton or whatever you're using at that, whatever tracks you're using, and you're just putting other people's music and saying that, oh, well, I produce it, but you're not. You're taking whatever they've done. You're not doing it yourself.
Yeah,
you're just putting it in an order that you think that it should be. You know what I mean? It's not really producing.
So now, as far as DJing, I know that you're a member of the Cutting Crew now.
Yes.
How long you been with the Cutting Crew now?
We've been with them for about 5 months.
5 months?
No, 5, 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah, 5 or 6 months.
All right,
5 or 6 great months.
Yeah, you know what? Everybody they welcome me in. You know, they kind of like grab me and say, "Ah, man, we happy to have you."
See, it's a
You know what I mean?
touchy-feely.
We grab.
Yeah, that's kind of
We keep it in
kind of guys
family.
we are. You know,
Watch
what I
it,
mean?
Dave. Okay.
Don't get the wrong idea.
Keep
but-
the hands on the keyboard. All right.
But what's cool about the cutting crew that makes us a little bit different from all the other crews out there is that we actually can spin on vinyl. Everybody
I
spins
see
on
that,
vinyl.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's not one of the guys that's in the crew that you don't see spinning on actual vinyl. We have records and then we pull the records out. A lot of crews out there, they're more digital. They play. I don't. You know, I'm not bashing on them. They play with controllers. You know, CDJs, CDs. They use the MP3s. I use MP3 too. I'm on Serato. You know, we all do it.
Yeah.
But once in a while, we just break off and we have a vinyl session and we just all play records.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that's what's cool about the cutting crew. You know, and we all can relate to each other about how we all play. You know what I mean? And we have a lot to talk about when we do. So when we all get together, it's nonstop conversation, and we could stay there for hours talking about almost absolutely nothing. Yeah. You know?
That's a good
normal
thing, though.
people, it's absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
to us, it's,
Yeah,
I
because
get
you know,
It's a good
when we
feeling.
bring our girls with us and they think that we're speaking Greek because they don't know.
Yeah.
They're like, "What are you guys talking about? What's an MP3?" You know?
No, I get you. I know what you're saying. How can people find out more about Wesley the Wiz?
Actually, I'm starting a fan page on Facebook. Tim Schomer, he was telling me that, you know, you're out there and people enjoying what you're doing. You got to start up a fan page, put your mixes on the fan page, and that way that people can, you know, they know how to get a hold of you and they can listen to your stuff online. I do have some stuff on SoundCloud, I have 2 mixes on SoundCloud that I put on that have been on there for years. I need to start changing them now. But the thing is about me is that once I do a mix and it's finally done, I go back and listen to it, I'm like, I don't know.
You're not the only one. I'm the same way, and that's why a lot of people ask me where are my mixes at. I don't put a lot of them out. Mine have to be perfect from start to finish, and that's my feeling about it. And then I'll release it. And I'm the same way. It's like I messed up here or there. Nobody else realizes it, but I do, and that's all.
It sounded good at the time,
Exactly.
and then you're like, you listen to it again, like, I don't know now. But you know what? To tell you the truth, this is what Tim told me. Tim told me stop listening to yourself. You're your worst critic. And start thinking about how other people are going to hear it. You know what I mean? And with me, I don't want to sound like, you know, I'm being too like ahead of myself, or I'm trying to be, you know, real arrogant. But the way that my mixes are going to come out is I'm kind of real picky about the way it sounds. If it's not on beat perfectly, I got to go back and do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? But then somebody else was telling me, well, you know what? If it doesn't sound perfect, it makes you sound like you're more live, and it's true.
Yeah.
But I kind of like to do like a funky little mega mix at the beginning of my mixes, and that takes about 4 or 5 hours to do 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, but you got to be proud of that first 3 minutes that you're doing. You know, and then start going on. But then you got to try to top what you just did. So your next mix has to be just as good as that one.
I hear you. So what can we expect from you today?
I'm going to be doing a little bit of a freestyle, old school freestyle mixed with with house. I kind of go back and forth with them because I never really hear people doing it. So I play a little bit of freestyle, then I go into house, back and forth, Italo, a little bit of classic, not just classic house, but, you know, a classic Italo disco stuff, like hypnotic tango and stuff like that. So I kind of go back and forth. You know,
you heard that here. He goes back and forth. Anyways. All right. Thanks, Wiz. All right. So you guys are going to get a chance to hear Wesley the Wiz at the top of the hour. So stick around for more to come right here. DaBooth312, broadcasting from WIT 88.9 FM in Chicago and DaBoothRadio.com.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all, not one bill. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bozzy. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello. Hey, I'm Dua Lipa. Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Loud.
Hey everyone.
This is Salada.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R. What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM Chicago.
And this is fresh.
A message from wildlife biologist Jeff Corwin for American Humane.
Every year, 30,000 elephants are killed by poachers. 8 million tons of plastic is dumped into the ocean, and 18 million acres of forest disappear. And with them, many of the remarkable animals that share our planet. These animals need our help. Their very survival depends on our ability to protect them. Zoos and aquariums are on the front lines of wildlife conservation and inspire environmental stewardship amongst the millions of families that visit every year. And know that zoos and aquariums that have earned the Humane Certified Seal of Approval from American Humane will not give up until every species has a fighting chance for survival. Find out more and help protect and preserve the amazing creatures that share our world.
Brought to you by American Humane.
Regional World Entertainment presents The Booth. Check us out every Sunday on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Download that free app, tune in, and get the best sounds of the underground with The Booth.
What's your name, dude?
Wesley the Whiz Kid.
What kind of stupid name is that?
You are the
for your love, hungry. Hungry. Hungry for your love, hungry. So very special to me when your body's moving. Your lips like candy, so sweet and also soothing. I've been waiting all night for you to come. I'm infatuated by you. May I please have some? Your seducing smile, I want you so, so bad. I'll be worth your while, the best and all you ever had. Let me be the one you give your love to. No interruptions until we're through. Hungry, hungry for your love, hungry. Hungry for your love, hungry. Hungry for your love, hungry. Hungry for your love.
Gee, it's raining again, and it's so hot. I wish you'd come for me and take me away. Take me away. Summertime, 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 summertime. Take me, baby, take me to the water. Summertime, maybe we can fall in love. In summertime,
Stop.
Hip house is going on. Now whip your hands and let me know you hear me. Girls, they cheer me, and suckers, they fear me. Yo, you wanna flex, but I don't think you want none. You wanna dance, check the clock, the time has come. Now get ready, cause I'm about to make you scream and shout. While I turn the party out, bust the move, prove that you want to. Do what you wanna do as I rock to. A composition that was easy, by the man with the plan to make it C-A-N-C-E. So get with it, cause I'ma take 2 steps up. MC step and try to catch up a mess up. I do damage, but still manage to keep you elevated, motivated, and devastated. Are you relating to what I'm saying? I'm in effect, boy, and I ain't playing. Get your booty on the floor, hip hop it up and get some more. Move your body, get your money, do a freak with the honey. Break it down and bump it up, girl, change your dance to the bus. Side to side, shake it, let me see if you can make it. Duck, duck, don't be lazy, do that dance, drive me crazy. Up and down and round, jack into the hip hop sound. Do-si-do and here we go. Now get that hoe and get that hoe. Say DJ play it all night long. Why? Hip house is going on.
a situation, moving through the doorway of a nation. Pick me up and shake the down, baby, I can't do without. Don't mess around, you bring me down. I get about, don't make sounds, move out. I remember only for an hour. Move right through me, can you feel the power? I don't know what's going on, scares me, but it won't be long. Don't mess around, you bring me down. I get about, don't make sounds, move out.
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bonzi. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello. Hey, I'm Dua Lipa. Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Lau.
Hey everyone.
This is Salade.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R. What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago.
And this is fresh.
Music.
From the depths of your soul to the movement of your body, it connects you. Brings the old and the new as one, and it doesn't matter what style. It just makes you dance. Yeah, it makes you dance. That sound, we still need it. The feeling we had, the freedom we had. That sound. It's that sound. It's that music we love that we call house. You can feel the kick, you can feel the vibe. It's house music, now let it move you, come on. Music.
House.
Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bonzi. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello. Hey, I'm Dua Lipa. Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Lau.
Hey everyone.
This is Selena.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R. What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM Chicago.
And this is fresh.
The snow is coming, but it's not here yet. All right, guys, we're going to keep you warm right here with this music. I know you guys are enjoying it and loving it because I know I was already sweating, not just looking at the West, the Wiz here, but I just got to, every time I hear the Wiz, I bad thoughts, just never mind. Yellow Snow. Yeah, anyways, Wesley the Wiz is still here in the studio. He threw it down for you guys. Definitely enjoyed that. We definitely loved that mix right there, taking us back to the old school. Wes, man, I still love that feel. I love what you do. You gotta, you think you're turntablism here. Quick mixing and a little bit of scratching here. He's scratching, not sniffing. But definitely a great job. That comes later. You did a great job, though, as always, man.
Right,
definitely, I love it. Nothing. I love your style, and again, being unique, being you, not trying to copy everyone else. And unfortunately, that's a trend that we see a lot of today, where people want to copy everyone else's. Hey, be unique, be you. What makes you you? And Wesley the Wiz, you definitely are you. You're unique, and you did a great job, man.
You know what? You know what it is too, though.
What is it?
It's like the older music has a certain style to it, which the beginnings and the middles are all different. And you can always find a place to mix a song in. You know what I mean? And mix it out. You just gotta be a little bit creative with the older stuff because it always has a part in there where you can spin it, loop it, and make it sound different than the original song started. Yeah. You don't have to start it from the beginning, wait for the break to mix it out. You can always find a place somewhere there, go from the front to beginning, have doubles, find another part in the song, go flip it over, go to the dub version, find a place there. The newer stuff isn't like that. Newer stuff is more of play it from the beginning, let it play, it's got a good break, mix it right out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you got to be creative with it, with the older stuff.
Now, do you play a lot of new music? Or what?
Sure. I love new music. I love EDM.
Really?
Yes, I love EDM. Some of it's a little bit repetitive, but there's a lot of good stuff out there. A lot of good stuff. But you know what the problem is with it? Is that there's too much, and you don't know what to grab. You know what I mean? There could be new artists out there that has a banging track, but you won't know about it because you have to go through 50 or 60 other songs just to get to that one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And then what do? You put your headphones on, you put the first song, you play from the beginning. Nah, it's not grabbing me. Go to the next one. But you didn't hear the middle part, which was probably the best part of the song. You're probably never going to know about it because you didn't listen to the whole thing. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I do love new music. My son, he puts out some really good tracks, and a lot of the stuff that he does is mostly EDM. And it sounds his sound is a little bit different than a lot of other people's, but you can tell that he is into whatever they're doing. So let's say the Afrojack came out with a new sound. Well, of course, he's going to try to get into that too. Whatever's going to be popular at that time, he's going to try to do that.
Now, what do you declare? And I'm really curious about this. What do you declare EDM? Because people have different opinions on that.
I say more EDM is more. I still consider EDM house music. It is house music, but it's just you could probably call house music EDM too because it is electronic.
It's electronic dance music.
Yeah,
but it's just a different form. So
it's harder.
Oh yeah,
it's definitely harder. I think that EDM is a mixture between house music, techno, and a little bit of Euro mixed in, all of it mixed in together. If you listen to some real good hard EDM stuff, it's got the house beat, but if you listen to the middle of it, it goes into like a little bit of a techno part of it. So it's a little bit of a European mixed with Chicago house music, stuff. It's mixed in.
But do you think EDM just stands alone with its name, EDM, or is it
not
just
at all.
like a category, a main category of, a broad category of EDM? Because then you got the subgenres of EDM, which would be like a dubstep or something in that category. It's more of, dubstep is a EDM form, but it's a subcategory, I believe, of, EDM. I don't know. I mean, when people just say EDM and you say, house music, the misconceptions sometimes, there's the misconceptions of what all that is tied into, because I've had people, I don't listen to EDM. Well, wait, hold it. House music, you'll place like an old school house, let's say, classic house, and that person, I like that. But you're classifying this as under EDM now. You don't like EDM. What is it,
I consider, if you listen to some tracks, some of the older tracks like by Future or by Armando, the acid stuff that they used to do back in the day, I would consider that all electronic. It is electronic. It's a drum machine with another machine, with another machine. You know, so it's still EDM.
Yeah.
They do the tracks the same way that these old guys did it. It's still the same. So I would consider house music EDM too. But the only thing is that I think when you say EDM, they automatically already think, okay, it's newer dance music. That's what EDM is.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? You say house music, they automatically think, oh, old school house. Which there's a lot of new house out there too. But also don't forget, there's disco house. There's, you know, of course, house music. There's trap. There's just like you said, there's dubstep. And it's all branched off of house music. I think it's all branched off. So it all leads back to one thing. You know what I mean? Even house music is branched off to me. So I'm gonna tell them.
And you know, not only that is it branching off, but it's also being recategorized.
Yeah.
You know, these distributors are recategorizing the music. And I'm happy you brought up a good point of acid. What acid house was back in the day is not what acid house is now, you know, or the form has changed, or the name, I'm sorry, has changed, like a tech house type thing or whatnot.
But there's a reason for that, though. There's a reason why it's changed so much is because the technology has changed. So people aren't just putting a 909 or an 808 next to it with a 303 and getting those sounds that they want. Because if you listen to Armando's tracks or Future's tracks with the acid, it's just a drum machine with a 303. That's all it is. And they're just changing the way it sounds.
Yeah.
Through the whole song. That's all it is those two machines. And they're just changing the way it sounds. That's all it is. With the same pattern over and over again. But with the new technology, they're using the same stuff, but they got a computer and you have access to all these sounds, which you didn't have before. In order to get these sounds, you would have to go buy a Roland Juno 106 or a Jupiter 6 or in Sonic, you know, Mirage. You know, you have to go buy those keyboards in order to get those sounds you want. Now you don't have to do that. What do you do? You go online, type in Cakewalk, and then boom, you can get this Cakewalk sounds in your computer.
Yeah.
You know, or Korg M1. If you want the whole Korg M1 keyboard or the whole sound library, go to Korg's website, download the M1 sounds, and you've got them all on your computer. So it's easy to access the sounds that you want, right? And then when you have your computer right there in front of you, you're playing a track, or you're playing a MIDI track that you recorded with your keyboard. You can easily go into that track and change the sound into the sound that you want using the same pattern. So just like I said, it's a lot easier getting access to music or to sounds nowadays than it was before. Before, all you had was those two machines, and you still put out tracks with those, which is that two machines.
Yeah.
Right? Nowadays, they got it. People, believe me, they got it really easy. When we used to program stuff, it will take us a whole day. I remember one time that me and Andre Lopez, you remember Andre? He used to own Hot Jam Records. We were in his store programming a song.
Whatever happened to him?
He's still around.
I mean, I had people actually ask him, where is he at? Nobody sees him.
Yeah, the last time I talked to him, he was I think he was working at a dealership.
Okay.
But I have him on Facebook.
Okay.
You know, I talk to him once in a while. We were actually in his record store recording a track, and it took us hours and hours just to get the sequences right, you know, to program. So that way, we didn't have to stand there and press buttons while the song was playing. Andre programmed the whole thing, so I would just press play and let it go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you know, that's where his talent was. You know what I mean? And he was real good with the 909. So, and he had a sampler, too. He had one of them, I don't remember what it was. It was a Korg something. But it was a full-blown keyboard sampler. You put a floppy disk in it, save your samples onto the floppy disk.
Yeah.
You know? And that's the old school way of doing it. That was the only way you can do it.
Yeah.
Now, computer can hold gigs and gigs of music and sounds, and you don't have to worry about hooking up a SCSI drive to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a lot easier now.
Yeah,
So that's
I
why I'm
agree.
saying, when you said that the acid house has changed a lot, I think that's why.
Yeah, well, techno too. You know, what we knew techno back in the late '80s, '90s, and techno today, completely different.
Yeah, exactly. The techno,
You know.
I think the techno nowadays, you can listen to. I think there's two sides of it. One of it's a noisy side, and the other it's more of a melodic sound, where it's still techno, but it has a little bit of a music tone to it. You know, a little bit of music to it. Well, on the other hand, you just have a beat track playing over a distorted acid sound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's another side of techno. When techno was coming out back in the 90s, when Who Is Elvis and all those guys were coming out, I mean, I was going crazy over that stuff because it was so different. You know what I mean? And whatever came out new, I didn't even look. I just looked at the label. Oh, Flying Records, they had some real good stuff in the past. I'm just going to buy it. You know? And some of the stuff was repetitive. Some of it was real good. And some of them dragged on a certain thing. You know, what is that? Not Who Is Elvis. the James Brown is dead thing.
James Brown's dead.
And people kept going off of that one thing.
Jeopardy.
That one sound. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and they wouldn't stop with it. Who killed JFK? And then they just kept going on and on with it. You know what I mean? And then and some of it was good. Some of it was just dumb.
And then, the other thing, too, is people categorized back then, techno was a lot. It was almost like what EDM is today, where you took a conglomerate of styles, hard house and all that. That was techno.
Yeah.
Everything was put into one and considered techno. So,
But if you listen to, if you go back and you listen to a lot of the techno stuff, hard 909 sounds with the same house music, same thing, even the same sounds, the same 909 sounds that they used to produce house music with are in those tracks. So techno is just another branch of house music. You know what I mean? I mean, a lot of good stuff came out of techno. I love techno.
Yeah, same here.
You know, when that song "Observing the Earth" came out, I thought that was the best thing they did. That was the next best track ever. You know what I mean? So I love techno, and the newer techno stuff is still good, but I'm not really into it that much.
Okay.
Plus, nowadays it's kind of hard to keep track of what's going on with the newer music because there's so much of it.
Oh yeah.
How are you
it's
supposed to
swamped.
go and grab and listen to what's new? You know what I mean? There's just too much. And then people, they listen to the radio. They listen to different, radio stations, and that's how they pick up all the newer stuff that they, oh, I like that song, or I like that one because they hear it on the radio. But there's a lot of stuff.
Instead of
in the
trying to
background.
find their own.
Yes, there's a lot of background stuff that you just go onto different websites to find that stuff, listen to it. You know what I mean? I get a lot of my new music from my son because he DJs at all these downtown clubs. So I get all my new music from him. I never heard a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Even the stuff that they're playing on the radio right now, I still never heard. I was at a wedding last night that I DJ for, and they were asking me for stuff that I never heard, an artist that I never heard. In fact, you got one of the artists right there on the
cabinet.
On the cabinet there. That I'm like, okay, I never heard of this. Let me look and see if I can find it.
Yeah.
Thank God for Spotify.
I hear you. All right, guys. So we'll see. I don't think we're going to get any techno today from Dave C, but we'll see what he has to offer to us. So, guys, stick around right here because after the commercial break, DJ Dave C is going to throw it down for you guys on the ones and twos. The Booth 312, broadcast from WIT 88.9 FM in Chicago and theboothradio.com.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bonzi. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello. Hey, I'm Dua Lipa. Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Lau.
Hey everyone.
This is Salade.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R. What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM Chicago.
And this is Fresh.
Hello, it's me, the designer jeans in the back of your closet. What happened to us? I used to summer in the Hamptons, and now I'm stuck behind a pair of sweats. Okay, maybe I never really fit you right, but I got a lot more Sunday fun days left in me. So take me to Goodwill, where I can really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff. Create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Regional World Entertainment presents The Booth. Check us out every Sunday on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Download that free app, tune in, and get the best sounds of the underground with The Booth.
this is just a game. It don't get deeper. It don't get deeper. Oh, brother, brace yourself, 'cause you will need time. Wrap it in your mind, 'cause you'll never be the same again. Oh, go Negro, go find yourself. Go kneel down. Go kiss that ground, 'cause nothing's gonna really change. When shit gets deep in the bottom, deep in the bottom, you can't go deeper than the bottom. It gets deep in the bottom, deep in the bottom. Can't get no deeper than the bottom of Africa. It don't get deeper. Oh no, again. Can't get no deeper than the bottom. Oh, incognito, orphan child. Go sing your song. Go things right, things wrong. Everything's about to change. Racing, races out of breath. Go pace your step. Make a social life out of social death. Everything changes. He said, go look in the mirror and see. Look at you, sister, look at me. Are we really just the same? I said I'm black as coffee with no cream. See, Africans be knowing who I be.
I never wanted to be your weekend lover. I only wanted to be some kind of friend. Baby, I could never steal you from another. Such a shame our friendship had to end. I know the times are changing. And it's time we all reach out for something new. But you can't seem to make up your own mind, and I think you better close it. And let me guide you through the purple rain, purple rain, purple rain.
I'm Bozzy. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello. Hey, I'm Dua Lipa. Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Lau.
Hey everyone.
This is Salade.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R. What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM Chicago.
And this is fresh.
want me to stay the night, I can stay the night through. Baby, if you want me to stay the night, I can stay the night through. stay the night through. Baby, if you want me to stay the night, I can stay the night through. Baby, if you want me to stay the night, I can stay the night through.
morning I would like to use as a subject from which to preach the drum major instinct. The drum major instinct. The drum major instinct. The drum major instinct.
Bring it back.
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bonzi. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello. Hey, I'm Dua Lipa. Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Loud.
Hey everyone.
This is Selena.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R. What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago.
And this is fresh.
All right, welcome back to the Booth 312, broadcasting on WIT 88.9 FM in Chicago and theboothradio.com. Don't see any snow yet, but we got good news. The Bears finally won again.
Wow.
I didn't get a chance to see it, so I'm wondering who quarterbacked.
Yippee.
Did we bring somebody in off the street and let them quarterback, or?
If they did, they do a good job. Better than what we got right now.
I don't know. I mean, hey, they'll still support their quarterback, and I still support Chicago, but it's like, really? Getting a little monotonous and ridiculous. All right, so the last mix you guys heard right here was by DJ Dave C. All new tracks, throwing it down. Definitely, I know people that were walking through the building were enjoying it because they kept checking in. I guess they couldn't believe it was a light-skinned guy throwing down because I don't know.
Playing that soulful
They
stuff.
kept looking. I swear to God, they kept coming back, kept looking like, who is that? Who is that? Who is that?
That was
and
a
they
great-
started pointing at you.
That was a great mix, Dave.
You did a great
Thank
job.
you. Thank you very
You're
much,
welcome.
buddy.
You know, I had my headphones on most of the time, but
Not biased at all. Not biased at all.
I was listening to the relaxing sounds of the rain.
Well, I guess the Wiz was on for 6 months, and that's about it. But he probably won't be on Cutting Crew no more. I think you got enough. So
I heard the beats.
hopefully you guys are enjoying the show and keeping it with us. We definitely want to let you know about the white elephant. Not the white elephant in the room, but the white elephant that comes back every year. Dave, what you talking about the white elephant?
Oh, yeah. We have the White Elephant digital and vinyl event, 2-part. One will be at Xavier's nightclub on December 13th. I don't know why I always mention that one first. When the vinyl event is December 6th at Sugar Skull. And also Black Wednesday. Is that Black Wednesday? The day before Thanksgiving?
Yes.
No. Oh, I don't know what it is. But I'll be at Watch Your Nightclub jamming over there as well.
Is that the one with your face all over the flyer?
That's me.
Wow.
with my very big head.
All the girls are putting little hearts on there for the comments.
Yeah, but the comments weren't very nice, though.
Uh-oh.
I'm just kidding.
Not to your wife, but
She's the only one that likes my big head. And I didn't mean that the way that just
that didn't come out right.
I'm going to say you put something in your mouth, not your foot. All right. So, yeah, you guys definitely want to check out Dave C. because he's always doing a lot of stuff. Wesley, what about you? You got anything coming up that you're going to be doing? Other
Sorry
than
about
coughing?
that.
Yeah.
I got
Put it in his
November
mouth too now.
I got November
Anyways.
23rd the Freestyle Diva concert with Little Susie, Little Susie, Xavier Gold's going to be there. They're going, You Used to Hold Me, Voice.
He's talking about the song Used to Hold Me, not saying that Xavier's going to hold him.
No, Xavier Gold, Used to Hold Me. Voice is going to be there. The original Cover Girls are going to be there. And that's going to be at the Apollo 2000. That's on the 23rd of November. And I'm still doing Groucho's on Saturday nights. I'm still there. And then I got a couple other things coming up. I just can't remember. You know, ever since that, we've been doing the Cutting Crew stuff, there's like, we kind of advertise for each other who was going to be where and stuff like that. And there's just so much stuff going on, places that we're going to be, and we all push it for each other. And there's a lot going on. I mean, we're taking over Chicago, and it's a good thing.
Little by little.
Yeah, little by little, we're doing it, man.
And so's the booth, 312.
Now, is it south predominantly for the Cutting Crew, you guys? Are you doing south side, north side, or?
Both. We're actually doing both right now.
Okay.
Suburbs.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're trying to expand
Go
everywhere.
anywhere.
We're trying to expand.
Yeah, you're even in Indiana now, trying to take over there. Yeah,
Like the cartoon with the dollar bill on the fishing pole, and you see the guy following it, chasing it. Zzz, zzz, we'll go anywhere. Following the dollar.
All right.
So there's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, if you check our Facebooks and you can see what's going on with the Chicago Cutting Crew, you can see that there were a lot of different places. So if there's people out there that want to hear our DJs, I'm pretty sure we're going to be at a place that's close to where they live. I know it.
Okay.
You know.
And the nice thing about Cutting Crew too is the fact that you guys are not just stuck in old school. You guys play everything. So your crew, you guys are really well rounded. I love the fact how you said though we all play vinyl. So is that like one of the entry aspects? You cannot be a member of Cutting Crew unless you play vinyl.
Actually, that's what I thought at first. No, but when Dave asked me to come and DJ at his house for the the
Vinyl
show,
for a mix show.
Yeah, if you go and you look at the show, I'd say mostly 75% to 80% of the guys at DJ use the turntables. I mean, they're right there. Some guys use the controller because some find it's easier to do mega mixing with the controller. You use 4 decks. You can play 4 songs at one controller, right?
Yeah.
Versus the turntable, it's not that easy. You got to lock the beats on. Got to make sure everything is cool. Plus, you only got 2 turntables anyway to do it with. You know what I mean? So I say about 80% of us on the show, we all use the turntables. You know?
So regardless if it's for live vinyl sets or if it's digital, you're still doing it through the turntables.
Tito plays mostly vinyl when he comes in. The guy's got a lot of good records.
I think that's all he plays, isn't it? I think when I talked to Tito, I think that's what he said. Dave, isn't that true that he only plays vinyl?
No, he can play digital. He has, but he
predominantly that's what he
predominantly he plays vinyl.
Okay.
Yeah. And Tito Too Hot Hernandez, by the way, for those that don't know.
If you watch this guy, he's very smooth. Very smooth. He's one of my favorite old school DJs, this guy. Really?
Yeah, he definitely throws down. He's really good.
Yeah, I mean,
we gotta get him some new vinyl.
He didn't mention Dave. he didn't mention Dave C. Connie, so I don't know if he's ever coming back to the Booth 312 anymore.
Dave who? Dave Morales?
You know that? Yeah, there you go. Dave M.
Should I cut the mic now?
No, you did. I'm serious. I was listening to your whole set, Dave. You did real good.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know?
Thank you.
Yeah, he's a great DJ. I mean, that's why he's a part of the Booth 312. It's nothing
But
but
I mean,
a big
did
head.
you hear the smoothness in the way that we DJ? There's a lot of we actually take the time to make sure that the song is actually on beat before we throw it in. You know what I mean? It's gonna smooth the mix to me is probably the greatest sound you're gonna hear. But you know what? I gotta say right now that even if you mix sloppy in front of a crowd of people, they're probably not gonna notice.
It probably won't. As long as you have great track selection, you'll rule a crowd. Just like there's that misconception where you have to play vinyl or you have to play this. And it's been said, well, your crowd is not looking what you're using. Just move the crowd.
Well, see, I got to say, my son, the way he DJs, he's got to have the best equipment up there. He won't, like, if two CDJ 850s or 800s, it's not appealing to him. He won't use it. He's got to use CDJ 2000s or Nexus Mixer, come on, man. And just like, I don't know if I said it before, but every radio station probably screens a lot of the stuff that goes through, a lot of the music that you play, and I need to make sure that there's no, worse swear words, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was hard for us when I worked at 100.3 because when I was there, they would have to go through every 25-minute mix to make sure that we were doing okay for the first 3 weeks that we were there. They had somebody listening to our mixes, and then they were, oh, well, this one's okay, go ahead and play it.
Yeah.
So after 3 weeks that we were there, they noticed, okay, well, we know what we're doing. They don't have to do that no more, And Brian, he was our leader, Brian Middleton. He was our leader, and he was a little scared at first, when we first started doing it. It was his show. So they said, here, Brian, this is your show. Do whatever you're going to do with it. And then he made sure that we were playing the songs that we were supposed to play. We had a playlist that we had to go by.
Yeah.
And it was kind of hard to go by because the DJ before me and the DJ after me, we couldn't play the same songs because they played it already on the first DJ. So I couldn't play the songs he played.
Yeah.
So we would have to keep in touch with each other and make sure that we didn't overlap each other. You know what I mean? Tim Schomer was our last DJ of the night, so he had the best time to go on. Saturday night, 11 o'clock, Tim went on.
Yeah.
Just like I said, but Tim Schomer, he's a freestyle guy. He couldn't play all the stuff he wanted to play. He had to play whatever was on 100.3.
Yeah, and that's the thing, that people don't realize in some of these sets, these stations, you play what's in their collection, and someone will say, that, oh, well, we have a major collection to go through. Well, that's great, but that's not what I'm doing. This isn't what I'm going to be playing. How can you go through some of that collection, So I get it. It's really difficult.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mention him that he's going to be there at the Apollo 2 with me. So we're going to be together. And then also, it's not carved in stone yet, but me and Tim are DJing on New Year's Eve at Bourbon Street together.
Oh, okay.
So that's going to be a good time on New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve for that one? Okay.
Can I do a shout out?
Yeah, go right ahead.
I want to say happy birthday to my baby Connie. Her birthday's tomorrow.
Happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Connie.
And we're still debating where we're going to go. She wants. I think we're going to go to Gibson's, but it's a little bit too expensive. So I think maybe we'll stick with Burger King or something like that.
White Castle it is.
Okay,
Yeah, they got a 2-for-1 deal.
It's going to be one of those, because we got bills to pay and stuff like that. Plus, she wants her car washed and her nails done and her hair did. So we got to do all that.
Every woman does.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. All right, guys.
I was happy to be here. I was happy to tell you guys what was going on, and happy to share my input on house music and where it's going and where it's been and stuff like that. So
Well, definitely, you're definitely welcome to come back, and when we have our guest appreciation, we'll be inviting you if you want
I'm
to
going
come.
to be stopping by whenever.
Uh-huh.
They're
There you
going
go.
to see me through the windows. Oh, here comes Wes. We lock the door.
Lock the door. Don't let him in.
All right, guys. So we'll be wrapping up right here. Make sure you guys tune in next week. Next week, we got Matt Dubspun of Vibnotic Recordings. Can't even say it right. It's getting too late. We have Matt Dubspun of Vibnotic Recordings coming in. He's another vinyl connoisseur. He plays nothing but vinyl, so he'll be throwing down for you guys. You want to check that out. Don't forget, we have a lot of events going on. We'll be having all of this stuff up on our website, DaBoothRadio.com. That's DABOOTH radio.com. Check us out on there. 24/7 music going on for you guys. So if you don't want to lose a beat, tune in to DaBoothRadio.com and check us out. Till next week, we love you guys. Stay warm. Be safe.
Yippee.
Peace.
WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. Take one.
Behold the angry giant.
Try it again, Alberto.
Behold the angry giant.
Perfect. Good luck tonight.
Behold the angry giant.
Yay! Read me another one, Dad.
This is